Ryan Walters. Need I say more?
Friend of the show.
Ryan Walters, he's been a character on the show for a long, long time, and seemingly every month he just stoops to a new low and does something different. If you don't know who he is, he's the state superintendent of public instruction in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
This guy.
He's known on this show for many, many bangers.
Many bangers. One being the idea that now in Oklahoma history classes, you have to teach the election denial theory from 2020. And another being porn at the school board meeting.
Porn at the school board meeting, that was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
He forced every classroom to show a video of him praying for Trump after Trump got shot.
Oh, he's forcing schools to buy the Trump Bible.
Yep, forcing schools to buy the Trump Bible. Way back in, I think, 2022, he posted some shit on Twitter. This might have been when we first learned about him. Saying, like, no more woke Santa Claus anymore. And the implication is that Santa's not black, therefore it's... Ryan Walters is just constantly putting up threes.
Oh,
for
yeah,
our
absolutely. And the game's not even happening. He's just throwing them out there. He's just lopping them at the court. He's pulling up for a pickup game by himself. I swear to God. But it doesn't end there. This week, it just came out. News literally just broke that now teachers moving to Oklahoma from California and New York will be required to pass a new test to obtain a teaching certificate for Oklahoma. This test will include questions on the biological difference between men and women.
Oh my God.
The importance of religious freedom to American identity, and the U.S. government and political system. Teachers will also have to agree to the state's history standards that include 2020 election denial, COVID lab leak, and that mail-in ballots are notoriously fakeable.
You got to take a purity test.
They're making you take an anti-woke indoctrination test to be a teacher in California.
Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma, in Oklahoma, to be a teacher now, you have to pass an anti-woke test.
That's crazy. Oh, I don't even know what to say about that.
That's what I thought when I first read the thing, too. They're just and Oklahoma is already a state that has a wicked teaching shortage.
Yeah.
Like many states across the union, right? But Oklahoma, uniquely...
And let me say, they have earned it.
They have earned it, absolutely. Yeah. And Oklahoma specifically, I just read a thing in the Oklahoman that said that Oklahoma's ranked 50th in education right now.
It used to be thank God for Mississippi.
Exactly.
Now it's thank God for Oklahoma.
Thank God for Oklahoma, dude. Under Ryan Walters' tenure, the Ryan Walters, the guy that's done all the things that we just listed off, making teachers prove they're not woke, Oklahoma has sunk to 50th in education. And this is the kind of thing that we're doing to attract the best and brightest to the state.
This is a model for Republican governance everywhere.
Absolutely.
This is what they want to do to your state, man.
And right now, he's just trying to get it for teachers from California and New York. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
But he's saying he wants to expand it to 8 other states, too.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Texas and Florida are often exemptions when we talk about just Republican states because they're rich, right? They have so many people, they have so much wealth in them. Oklahoma is much more similar to all the other more rural southern Republican states. If Republicans could have their way with your state, this is what they would do. Every single time, this is what they would do. If a guy like Ryan Walters gets in charge of education policy in your state, this is what they do.
And it's also, this is a test you have to take regardless of what grade you teach and regardless of what subject you teach. So we're going to have fucking history teachers coming in having to answer questions about only two genders. And we have science teachers having to answer questions about how the 2020 election was completely fake and fraudulent. Why'd they do a ballot number at 3 a.m.? Stop the count. Keep the count. Keep counting. Stop the count.
They're literally indoctrinating kids. It's everything they accuse the left of being. Every accusation is a confession.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Ryan Walters, man, what a goober. What a notable guy. And my favorite part about talking about Ryan Walters is that the analysis that I always see when I read about him is that he's auditioning for a job in the Trump administration, but all the jobs that he could have are already taken.
Yeah, Betsy DeVos. Or no, that was last time. Linda McMahon. Took the job you would have gotten.
This guy's clearly he was auditioning for Secretary of Education. And he gave it to the person who has nothing to do with education and in fact lied about her education credentials in the past.
At least he's had the job.
At least he's had something. He's an elected official and he's the state superintendent. However the fuck he got in that position, he's involved with schooling and public instruction.
Yeah, now he's going to stay ruling over Oklahoma classrooms like a fucking tyrant.
Yeah.
And he's not going anywhere.
But this is why I say he's pulling up to the pickup game and just shooting threes by himself. Because nobody's paying attention. He's not getting rewarded for this. He's just doing it for the love of the game.
I guess he just got away with the porn thing.
I think so.
Because Republicans in the state, at least Kevin Stitt, the governor of Oklahoma, a lot of Republicans don't fucking like this guy.
How could you? Like, he's so obvious about it. He's the biggest gargler.
But they can't get rid of him. I mean, he was voted into the office, right? Like, it's a public election. So bro's just like here to stay, and nothing they can do to get rid of him.
Massive indictment on the people of Oklahoma for voting for Ryan Walters, man. This guy has got to be the worst superintendent of public instruction of all time.
Yeah. I don't know how you could get more than this guy.
I don't think I've heard like a good thing that he's done.
There's no way he's done anything good. Everything this dude does is insane.
It's just meat riding.
Yeah.
Aggressive meat riding, flag on the play.
Oh, man.
We can't let him keep getting away with this.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Monday, August 18th, and Hiddo's here once again.
We are here. It's another beautiful week. More not so beautiful news to talk about.
No.
But once again, here we are.
We'll be talking about redistricting. Gavin Newsom, unfortunately, is putting up some bangers.
He is.
Gavin Newsom has been cooking. I regret to inform you all.
You hate to see it.
We got to talk about the occupation of D.C. still ongoing. Very bad. Inflation's here.
Inflation's here, and probably to stay.
Yeah, and some Loomer news.
Some Loomer news.
Some Loomer news.
So we've got Laura looming in the background.
Oh man, so that's what's going to be on the docket for today. And if you're excited, fucking become a patron or whatever.
Yeah, fucking become a patron because you're excited now on Wednesday as a weenie, but you could have been excited on Monday for the mandate.
Yeah, go get access to all the content. You can become a patron, early access, commercial free, yada yada.
But we do want to announce if you have commitment issues. And you don't want to subscribe to the Patreon on the monthly basis to get all 8 or 9 or however many episodes drop like every single month.
Yeah.
For the low price of at least $5. We're launching a new benefit.
That's right.
Or a new thing. Patreon notified us and said you can now sell individual posts. So for $2, you can buy an individual post, say something happens like Joe Biden drops out again somehow, and it's a crazy news week, crazy things are popping, and you just cannot wait to be a weenie on Wednesday and you need that mandate. $2.
Yeah, only $2. We're trying to lower barriers to entry and barriers to support for folks. So if $5 a month or $10 a month or whatever is too much for you on Patreon, feel free to just toss a $2, get an episode early, and that'll be that.
Exactly.
And it's commercial free.
It helps us and it helps you. For those 3 days, you are a patron.
It's true.
For those 3 days, you are a patron.
You can comment probably.
I hope. And leave one, too.
Yeah, so that's available for you if you don't want to become a subscriber to the Patreon on a monthly basis.
But I would let you know that is still a better value for your money to become a subscriber.
Of course, we couldn't undermine the value of the Patreon itself. No. But you can, if you want to, just support the show briefly and get early access yourself. That's available for you on Patreon. But of course, it's always more valuable to be a patron.
Yes.
Because you won't get the monthly postcard, bi-monthly postcard otherwise.
Exactly, the bi-monthly postcard and soon to be bi-monthly stickers included with your postcards once we hit our new goal on Patreon. Go over there to check it out. Maybe you want to buy an episode and you see that new goal and you're like, oh my God, we're so close. Let's go get it. You could just become one.
So true. And those individual purchases won't count towards the goal because we're going for patrons, of course. We're trying to build a movement, folks. Anyways, you can also support the show in a number of different ways down in the description. If you want 40% off Ground News,
that's a good one.
Use our code down there in the description. It's all there for you. Lastly, you can leave a 5-star review on Apple. We have 0 today.
Fucked up.
None, but we have a couple on Spotify.
Thank God we started embracing that feature. And this first one coming in from Haley. Review 5 out of 5 star pod. First, I'll say that I condemn Hamas and political violence, though it goes without saying. Second, as a young adult starting college in what should have been Blue Iowa, but is actually a red hellhole run by Kim Reynolds, my biggest op. Jeremy and Gage have been the anchor in the storm. Over the last years, I've gone from being conservative to moderate lib to now being a socialist hiddo head and proud patron of the Patreon. These white boys deserve your time and attention. I agree.
Another convert.
Big on that.
We got another one, folks. This next one here from Trouty. 5 out of 5 stars. After discovering this podcast last week on TikTok, I fear I've already been hooked. I got to start off by saying just last week I was a big supporter of Hamas and political violence. And after only 4 episodes of this bi-weekly podcast, well, bi-weekly if you mean 2 a week.
Yes.
After 4 episodes of this bi-weekly podcast, I've completely changed my tone.
That's what we do here.
Working in a union sheet metal shop can be taxing surrounded by red voters, but I'm excited about the prospect of popping an earbud in and listening to these 2 good boys. I'll be telling everyone I know about you.
We're taking over the sheet metal shop.
Oh my God, dude, we got Blue blue collar workers.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening, and it's glorious.
You don't need a focus group to know how to appeal to these people. You need us.
Exactly, 100%, because we can catch a vibe. Next one by Road 806, 5 out of 5. Obviously, I condemn Hamas and political violence. I mean, come on. I usually don't care for podcasts and can't keep paying attention, but there's something about my parasocial friends that keeps me hooked. Jeremy and Gage and the occasional cat give great takes with a humorous tone, and that's what we need right now. I wish I actually made good money so I wasn't a Wednesday weenie and Friday freeloader, but maybe one day Elon will send those stimulus checks my grandma keeps talking about. And you know, it's for you why we opened up the $2 post.
Toss $2 at your boys and get a free app.
What if something happens that's so timely and relevant, but only going to be relevant for Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, well, everyone's going to forget on Wednesday.
Everyone's going to forget on Wednesday. It's going to be out of that news cycle.
The better option, of course, is to become a patron. But like, look, we open up options for you folks. Of course. We're all about choice. I love freedom.
This is pro-consumer.
Yeah, that's right. So reminder that if you want your comment or your review read, leave a comment on the latest Spotify
video. It's got to be the most recent one.
We're not going to go back and look through all the comments of the older one. So on the most recent video, the one you're listening to right now, leave a comment on Spotify.
The one you're listening to right now.
If you want your review read. Also, before we get into the news, I will just say it turns out that we got almost everything wrong about Mike Braun.
Oh my God, I know. Everything wrong but the analysis. Yeah. What can I say?
Mike Braun's actually the governor of Indiana, and the clip was actually from 2022.
Still relevant, though, I will add.
And it was actually Bill Cassidy who said that maternal mortality rates wouldn't be so bad if you didn't count black women. That's a senator from Louisiana. So I just got everything wrong about the guy.
Yeah, however, he still said the interracial marriage.
Yeah, that was still
That's fine if we get rid of that and bring it back to the States. And he was the senator at the time he said that.
That's true.
That's
true. So we were right in some ways, from a certain point of view.
Exactly. In the most important ways, we were right.
Actually, we do have one last review here from Patreon itself.
Oh.
It's from Patron Tailored for Content. They say, hey, boys, long time no see. Ever since I started listening to this pod way back in the 2022 midterms with the episode The Red Wave of Communism, I've been hooked. Jeremy and Gage are the best tertiary news source out there for people of the progressive mind. Their coverage of stories and their breakdowns of these stories are relevant both in terms of policy and theory. These handsome Michiganders single-handedly revived my interest in politics and have inspired me to pursue a career in public service. Oh my God.
Oh shit.
With that in mind, I will be taking the Hiddo name all the way to Washington through the top congressional program in the country, the Panetta Institute for Public Policy.
We're infiltrating DC.
A policy center that trains college students from California and helps place them in the House, in-house congressional offices as interns. I'll be leaving for DC, Washington, DC on August 20 and can't wait to be near the center of all that goes on in the government. Good luck.
Good luck.
It's still occupied. Probably will be. Not only that, but I've met a fellow Hiddo head through this program, so shouts out to them. Thank you, boys, for all that you do.
Money.
You are going to keep me sane throughout this program. And before I close out this review, support the pod, rate it 5 stars, subscribe to Patreon, and of course, I condemn Hamas and all political violence.
Oh,
huge,
lovely review. We're going to be shaping policy, folks.
Yeah, this is us. We have an in.
We have an in.
Sleeper agents are active.
I can get in there and, hey, get that podcasting credit into that next bill.
The next episode that drops is just going to be like us saying one word over and over.
Yup.
It's going to activate all our sleeper cells.
They're going to place you with Hakeem Jeffries, and then you can be our source on the inside. We can upgrade from tertiary, skip secondary, and just go straight to primary reporting, really.
That's right.
Well, I guess that would be secondary. This is why I'm a tertiary source.
Getting into the news, though, we got to talk redistricting. And, folks, I'm sorry to report that Gavin Newsom has locked in.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the messenger. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate the message, but I can still hate the messenger.
That's what I was going to say. For our new Hiddo heads or people that just are unaware, Gavin Newsom, he's a demon. He hunts the homeless for sport. So it's sad to see him being able to set himself up for president in 2028 in this way.
Yeah,
but it's good that he's doing this.
Easily setting himself up for president 2020. I don't know if we read this tweet out last time or if it's just something that I saw, but it was along the lines of Gavin Newsom hates 2 things, homeless people and Republicans, and he's all out of homeless people.
That's so valid.
That's the energy that we got right now. I'm pretty sure we covered like 2 months ago, like a new thing that California was doing to disenfranchise homeless people. And now he's turned it all around.
Yeah, he hates homeless people. Gavin Newsom seems like he can like genuinely change.
Yeah.
Because he was making the rounds on the fucking podcast before.
He had his own
Steve Bannon and Charlie
podcast.
Kirk on. Yeah. But now it seems like he's showing a willingness to move with the sort of political winds. So maybe that's a good sign.
We just need to make the political wins. You got to say that trans people in sports are fine.
Yeah, we need to create a whirlwind of just leftist messaging that seeps into his news consumption that gets him to change on these issues. Because it seems like he's trying to triangulate a position here. And he definitely is earning some points with what he's doing right now. But first, the Texas Democrats are officially returning to the state as of today, Monday, August 18th, likely paving the way for a new Texas map. They were able to deny the special legislative session because they stayed out of the state for long enough. But nothing stops Greg Abbott from just calling another one, which it seems like they're going to do. And also they were sort of they were probably running out of resources since they were being fined and they had to pay for their own travel expenses and they weren't at their jobs back in Texas and stuff, right? So Texas Democrats officially returning, but
because state legislator is a part-time job. There's only like a couple seats in the Texas State Senate that like are full-time and pay you enough to do that. So they could not support themselves off just their state legislator income, and they're being fined to oblivion.
Yeah. A lot of states have part-time legislators.
That's
not
wild.
Us. Michigan's got full-time.
Really?
They get paid like $70,000 something, I think.
Oh, beautiful.
Or maybe that's the senators that do in Michigan, the legislative senators. I don't know.
But
they are full-time.
Either way, Texas don't, and that's bad in this instance.
Yeah. So Texas Democrats are returning, but Newsom said, "All right, let's lock in then."
Okay.
And I think Democrats sort of returned because Newsom has seen some success here. So Gavin Newsom's been pushing forward his plan to gerrymander the California map, of course, only in response to the Texas gerrymander. A quote from NPR is, California's proposal would have a trigger clause and only go into effect if Texas and another red state moves forward with its own redistricting plans. If approved, the new California districts would apply for 2026, 2028, and the 2030 elections, and the Citizens Redistricting Commission would regain redistricting authority after the 2030 census.
Oh, conveniently, that gets him through his first midterm election as the president.
Yup. Yeah, man, that's just how it has to be.
That's just how it's just a coincidence.
So this proposal is a ballot proposal that's going to be on the ballot at the end of this year, I believe, November elections for California. So voters are going to decide if this is what happens.
And it's kind of gas that it's like an extra special election too, because it's like there's already like a Democrat leaning advantage when it comes to special elections in the midterms, because it's more people who are involved in politics. You're not getting low propensity voters, and the fact that it's off and off year. Got to be an even better sign, right? Because there's going to be 3 people that pay attention to this.
Yeah, it's an off-year election. It's not a midterm election. And I think, Democrats definitely perform better in these sort of weird election times.
They love special elections.
Because it's the high information people that turn out, and those now skew Democrat. It wasn't always that way, but low turnout tends to be good for Democrats nowadays.
Shouts out.
Which is wicked.
Maybe we should start suppressing votes.
It's just a crazy change. So the expectation with this map is that it would create 5 new seats for Democrats to counter the 5 new seats out of Texas. This plan would specifically create 5 new leaning Democrat or safe Democrat seats out of 4 safe Republican seats and 1 leaning Republican seat. And it would bring the California delegation from 43 Democrats to 48 out of 52, 48 Democrats out of 52 total seats. Doesn't go the maximalist route.
I was going to say that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There is a map. I'm pretty sure there's a map you can draw that gives you all of the seats likely in Harris plus 10 districts. You can make all the districts Harris plus 10. Or if you're willing to give up 2 Republican seats, you can make them all Harris plus 14 from like the 2024 results. Why would you go through this whole situation, this whole mess, just to not go as far as you can? Why would you open yourself up to the attacks that, oh, look, it's the Democrats that are doing gerrymandering, blah, 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 Gavin Newsom's doing this, blah, 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 and not go the full way?
I don't know. I didn't really see an explanation for that. It leaves 4 safe Republican seats on the map. It does convert 1 lean Democrat seat to a safe Democrat seat, but like, I mean, it's California, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the rationale was for leaving 4. Maybe they thought it would be too egregious to chop up the map such that it was 52-0.
But like the Texas map is too egregious.
Of course. Texas map, it leaves like, what, 2 Democrats left in the Texas delegation or something like that?
It's something
It adds 5 new Republicans, leaves only a couple Democrats. So like, I don't know. I feel like go as far as you can because you don't know. You know Texas is going to try to get 5.
Yep.
And now Indiana is considering changing their map to get a couple more. You don't know how many states are going to change their maps before 2026 in an attempt to gain as many seats as they can. And like each seat could make the difference. You know what I mean?
You only need a 3-seat swing to give Democrats control of the House.
Yeah. So why not?
They could have got that with a maximalist California map.
Why not take all 9?
And like you said, like Republican states are answering the call, and more Republican states want to join in on this. And like we talked about a couple weeks ago, or like 2 weeks ago when we talked about this, most Republican states are not controlled by independent redistricting commissions. They're controlled by the state legislature. They can just go in and change them if they want to.
Yeah, and Illinois is already pretty gerrymandered. Michigan can't do anything because we have an independent redistricting commission. We also don't have control of both houses. Minnesota, similar situation. They don't have control of both houses. I think New York is set to try, but theirs wouldn't go into place until 28, so it wouldn't
doesn't matter
for the sake of the midterm. So it's like, yeah, Democrats' hands are pretty tied out of a sense of fairness, so it's sort of reasonable, and Republicans aren't. The one saving grace might be that a lot of Republican states are already pretty gerrymandered.
Yeah.
But they, again, if you can squeeze 1 or 2 seats out of a place like Indiana, that could be the difference.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, realistically, how many states can they squeeze out of Indiana?
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see whatever wicked map they produce. That's just a series of lines that you can't even understand.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it'll work, but it's like, who knows?
Yeah. Newsom should have went all the way.
Yeah, definitely should have went all the way. There's talk. So that's like the news from this week on the redistricting wars front, on the Eastern Front,
yes.
On the Western Front over in California. But I do want to take a moment to zoom out a little bit because there's been all this talk about cheating in elections, and there certainly is an issue of cheating in United States elections, but it's not in the form of voter fraud, which is how everybody talks about it. It's in the form of the president of the United States going to Texas and saying, hey, I need 5 new seats because I'm going to lose in the midterms otherwise.
Literally, we don't need all these like election fraud. It's so lame to center your election fraud conspiracies on election night.
Yeah,
there's no creativity there to say that ballot change. Really,
yeah.
This is played over. This is dumb. This is stupid. Let's start thinking bigger.
Yeah, Republicans do cheat in elections, and it's not in the form of like ballot harvesting or like hacking into voting machines, which is a lot more sexy to talk about, but it's like voter suppression and gerrymandering. That's how they get away with
they do
winning
it
where
legally.
Yeah.
They do it legally and in front of your face. They just do it on an off year because nobody pays attention to politics in off years.
And they're like, look, I'm a certified Gavin Newsom hater.
Yep.
I do not like Gavin Newsom. I don't want him to be the nominee in 2028, but I do think blue states need to fight fire with fire here. Because like, if Republicans can get away with this in Texas, just so brazenly redistricting their map so they don't lose in 2026, then like that's it, right? Like we're just to borrow something from what one of our guests said, Charlie Cavell on a guest record that we did a while ago. We're playing for who's going to turn the lights out. Like this thing is just done. It doesn't matter anymore. So we got to fight back such that we can put protections in place to ensure that states can't just gerrymander like this in the future.
There's just no reason for blue states to continue to handicap themselves in this matter if red states aren't going to do the same. There's no reason to make the situation lean even heavier to the right when it comes to this. Like, that's what it is. There has to be all or nothing legislation. It has to be that just gerrymandering is outlawed throughout the entire country.
Yeah.
There's federal legislation that puts in place independent redistricting commissions literally everywhere. Or else you shouldn't be handicapping yourself for no reason.
Yeah, and Congress has the power to do it.
It could have happened. I think every single Democrat voted for H.R. 1.
Yes.
Every single Democrat voted to end gerrymandering. Not a single Republican voted to end gerrymandering. And yet they're complaining. I think James Tellerico was on like Newsmax. That's James Tellerico, the guy from Texas that goes crazy, right? He was on Newsmax or something, and he brought up that point to the Newsmax guy that was trying to get him about how actually Democrats gerrymander, blah, blah, blah. And dude was just stunned. Yeah. He said, we got to go to commercial, man.
Sorry, I'd love to continue this great conversation.
I'd love to continue this conversation, but we're really out of time now.
It's like, it's just a power play. Like, it is so brazenly corrupt. It's so openly just a power play. And like Newsom's response was like, yeah, look, it's a power play. Yeah. Like what we're doing in response to Texas, it is just a power play, but it's because Texas is doing this.
Which it's like, he's the only Democrat that's willing to say anything like that. And that's what I want out of the Democratic Party. I just don't want it from Newsom.
Yeah,
I really just, that's my whole thing here is if it was really anybody else but Newsom that was doing this with this much sauce, then it'd be really cool.
Yeah, but I guess the fact that at least some Democrats at a state level were moved to do something about this is a good sign for the party. I don't know about nationally.
Well, I feel like Newsom doing this and doing this so aggressively opens the door for other Democrats throughout the country to think, okay, I can be aggressive with my messaging. Okay, I can just go out and do things.
Yeah.
And that's where they need to go.
And it's like, it feels like the first time the party has recognized that norms don't matter if only one side is abiding by them. Mm-hmm. Like there is no, I want to be better than them because they're just going to kill you.
Wicked that it took this long to come to that conclusion.
Yeah. And it took an argument about procedure to get to this conclusion. Nothing else.
It had to be about the most boring thing, gerrymandering.
Yeah, but it's good to see, and it's got to be done.
You know, sometimes it just feels like all the news happens on Monday and Tuesday.
It's messed up.
But my favorite podcast drops episode on Wednesdays. I don't know what to do. It feels like they miss all of it.
That's a curse.
If only there was a platform that I could go to where I could listen to these episodes early, maybe when they record them. Do you have any thoughts?
Boy, do I have a solution for you.
Oh, do tell.
If you head over to patreon.com/headintheofficepod, you can listen to Head in the Office episodes before the curse of Monday and Tuesday news comes out.
Really? Do tell.
And you get access to commercial-free episodes. And everybody wants commercial-free episodes.
I bet there's also a whole host of other benefits and community engagement that they offer.
And friendship.
Very true.
Who doesn't want friendship?
The most important thing.
Absolutely.
In times like this.
Back to the episode. Moving on to D.C. now.
D.C., Washington, D.C., our nation's capital that's filled with trash and filth and scum.
Yeah, we're going West Coast to East Coast.
Yeah.
We're talking about D.C., even though D.C.'s not really on the coast. It's close enough. It's in the proximity.
Bi-coastal elite area.
Exactly. We're bi-coastal elites on this here show.
Of course.
From the Midwest. But we're going to be talking about D.C. because 3 Republican governors have pledged hundreds of National Guard troops to Trump's D.C. occupation. That would be Ohio, West Virginia, and South Carolina governors. They've all announced they're going to send somewhere between 150 and 400 National Guardsmen to D.C. in the coming days.
Which is so crazy. Imagine being a National Guardsman in West Virginia, of like all places, thinking, yeah, I'm going to join the Guard, like do better for myself. We're not in wartime. I probably won't have to be deployed. I'll probably just be chilling. And then you get sent to Washington, D.C. to just arrest people that skipped a court date.
Mm-hmm. To arrest a dude who threw a sandwich.
What a world we live in.
Yeah, from The Guardian, quote, defense officials have said they would not be carrying weapons, but weapons are available if needed, but will remain in the armory.
Every statement that comes out, this is the same situation that we had in LA. Everything that they say when it comes to the deployment of the National Guard, one of the most just optically awful things you can do to your own citizens, deploying the military on our own citizens and whatnot, is like hidden behind this kind of like, I don't want to call it double speak, but maybe that's what it is, where it's like, oh yeah, no, they're actually totally chill. They're not going to do anything, but they will. Mm-hmm. But they will if we want them to, and we can make them do anything, and it'll be really violent and really bad, but they're not right now.
It's just like what Pete Hegseth said on the Ingram angle.
Yeah.
He was like, they're not going to be making arrests, but they could though.
But they can though, and I'll back them up personally if they do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they won't commit to anything. They want to just allow like any breadth of action from National Guardsmen, and it sucks. It's bad.
It's bad.
I forgot to mention this last week, but there was this, I'm sure you saw that video of, I think, a National Guardsman walking up to some dudes smoking cigarettes on a porch.
Yes.
And he was like, I thought like it smelled like marijuana over here. I came to tell you like you can't do that out in public. They're on their porch. And the thing that got me was he was like, Trump's tired of it. It's like, bro, some white dude not from DC pulls up to these people on a porch and says, you can't smoke weed. Trump is tired of it.
Trump's tired of it. I didn't get that far in the video. I didn't know that's what he said.
It's so lame,
that's
dude.
That's so lame. That's ridiculous, dude. You do not sound cool. I can tell you that right now.
Like, Trump's tired of it, man. Who fucking cares what Trump is tired of? That shit is so funny. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. I saw it last week, and that just, oh, man, that's good. Over the weekend, though, scores of residents in D.C. protested the administration's actions, and the D.C. Attorney General sued to halt the federal takeover of the D.C. police, and so that's been halted for now, but seems like just a minor road bump.
Yeah, it seems like they will just take over the police. Like, that's what they want to do. And that's also one of the, like, least optically horrible ways that they can get done what they want to do in D.C. and run around and, like, do violence on people who are engaging in any sort of crime whatsoever. Because you can't do that with the National Guard without getting into... they don't give a shit about getting into legal trouble, but they would if they were running around the National Guard and just straight up arresting people and doing raids with National Guardsmen. But they can do it with the DC police without really any questions, because that's kind of what police do in general.
Yeah.
It'd just be under their control. That's what they want to do. They're going to fight for it.
Yeah, and like low-key, the mayor isn't that upset about what's going on.
Oh my God.
She low-key fucks with it.
She's like,
she
yeah,
doesn't
well,
care.
they did it and they can do it, so I'll just let it happen.
Yeah, the biggest victims in all of this is likely the homeless population. There have been reports of police just kicking people out of their homeless encampments. There was even an instance of a bulldozer showing up to tear down a bunch of tents. This one was especially egregious because Trump had posted an image of a DC encampment on Truth Social, and this was like the route his motorcade was going. And then the next day, there were some police or whoever that showed up with a bulldozer and tore it down.
Oh, so they're just taking requests at Trump.
Yeah.
Trump said, go clear out this encampment, and then they're doing it.
And Trump just doesn't want to see homeless people.
Nice.
Like it is so egregious. It's so disgusting. It would be cheaper to house them.
Trump and Gavin Newsom are more similar. It's just become more and more similar by the day. Gavin Newsom's going out here in all his press releases trying to talk like Trump now, bite that whole flow. He's out here being aggressive, and they both hate homeless people.
Yeah, no, he's our Democrat version of Trump. People have been asking for it.
This is horseshoe theory right here, folks.
I don't need a Democrat version of Trump. I need a Democrat version of Mao. That's what we need. That's what we need, man. Just a reminder, I want to talk about like the consent manufacturing for a little bit. The pretext for all of this, all of the occupation happening in DC, is Big Balls getting his ass beat in a carjacking or a attempted robbery or whatever the fuck happened with him. I condemn violence, of course. I condemn
violence and political violence.
But the pretext for all of this is Big Balls getting jumped, and the lies that Donald Trump himself was telling about crime rates in D.C., which, again, just false. D.C. is at a 30-year low when it comes to crime rates, right? But the sort of aesthetic show of force that we've gotten so far, and maybe literal show of force in some cases, continues to have consent manufactured for it in the form of legislators, of course. They keep talking about crime rates and stuff like that, and just the sort of like conservative social media circuit. And I got two examples of this week.
We love the conservative social media circuit on this podcast. I've never seen a more shameless institution before.
Yeah.
We don't even need like a national ministry of propaganda because we have people that are willing to do it for like a couple $1,000s just for some like oil money.
And the way that Benny Johnson did it this week is insane.
Oh, man.
But first, I want to get it to, I want to take, I want to listen to what Senator Mark Wayne Mullen had to say. Shout out Oklahoma.
Senator from Oklahoma.
Shout out Oklahoma
is really just out here.
We're talking about Oklahoma representatives today. Mark Wayne Mullen was on Fox News. This is a short clip, about 30 seconds long. And he was explaining how someone who's supposed to be like combat trained. I don't know if he was like in the Marines or whatever, but he's supposedly like combat trained, supposed to be like a tough guy. He's all built up and stuff. He's the guy who challenged the president of the Teamsters to a fight. Like, he's supposed to be this like big tough guy. He explains why he's afraid of crime in DC.
He's so annoying.
Yeah, he explains in this clip why he's afraid of crime in DC. So I think we should take a listen to get a sense for the consent manufacturing machine.
And by the way, I'm not joking when I say this. I drive around in Washington, D.C. in my Jeep, and yes, I do drive myself, and I don't buckle up. And the reason why I don't buckle up, and people can say whatever they want to, they can raise their eyebrows at me again, is because of carjacking. I don't want to be stuck in my vehicle when I need to exit in a hurry because I got a seatbelt around me. And I wear my seatbelt all the time, but in Washington, D.C., I do not because it is so prevalent of carjacking. And I don't want the same thing happen to me, what's happened to a lot of people that work on the Hill.
I found the criminal that's running rampage through DC. I found the fucking caravan of violent people throughout DC. It's Mark Wayne Mullen breaking the law by not wearing his seatbelt. Let's have the National Guard arrest this guy now. What the hell?
Someone give him a ticket.
Somebody give this man a ticket. He just admitted to it on Fox News.
It's just like, dog, no, I don't believe you. Like,
no, literally.
You're supposed to be this big tough guy, and you're driving around DC without a seatbelt in case you got to run away.
And like, what would that even help?
Yeah, exactly.
the way that they try and like find these super odd angles to justify like fearing criminals, it's a mental gymnastics that I aspire to, really.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can get out there and say this kind of shit seriously. How do they make this up? How do they find this like one thing that like, oh yeah, this is going to really play well with voters? Is it just the most echoey chamber in those offices? Mm-hmm. I don't get how they can go out there and shamelessly say this stuff.
And it's like, to the extent that DC has a crime problem, problem, carjackings have been an issue, not in the way that Republicans talk about it, but like in terms of crime, carjacking is one of the more severe things in DC.
Yes.
But even with that, you are more likely to die in a car crash, especially without a seatbelt, than to have your car stolen while you're in it.
And it's also like, it doesn't even fucking make sense. Is it the way that you like not get carjacked by just like stopping an adequate amount behind the car in front of you? Mm-hmm. So you can drive away?
I guess so.
Like, yeah. I don't understand how driving without your seatbelt is what's going to get you to not get carjacked. If somebody's coming up to your window, buddy, they're already there. Yeah. Are you going to exit where they are?
I fucking guess.
Are you going to crawl over your other seat? These people are so lame.
Yeah, no. So that's Mark Wayne Mullen trying to manufacture consent for this military occupation. He's afraid personally of getting carjacked.
I can't believe that's the guy that wanted to fight the Teamsters guy, too.
Yeah. But the dude saying, just in case I need to run away.
So lame.
You would think conservatives like him, you just have a gun on you.
That's what I was just about to say. I don't understand why you don't just say, like, oh, I carry because I'm worried about the carjackings. That's like a regular thing to do as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's regular for people to carry.
Yeah, that'd probably make him like a populist.
And it's like less of a bitch thing to do than, oh, I'd drive around my seatbelt because I'm scared.
Yeah, so big tough guy is just preparing to run away just in case he gets carjacked. He's so terrified about driving on DC roads. He is personally scared, therefore military occupation is justified.
Yes, therefore the National Guard being deployed is cool.
Now this next clip, a little bit longer, is from Benny Johnson. It's a little dark.
Okay.
I will say, I made a couple of cuts just to like skip forward because he takes a lot of pauses, so it's not deceptively edited. This is just what he says. But Benny Johnson, he's going to explain, as someone, I guess, who lives in or has lived in D.C., he's going to explain why we need a violent military crackdown.
Nice.
So prepare yourselves.
And if you are a proud patriot and you love this country and you wish for it to be reflected honorably to the peoples of Earth, then Washington, D.C. must be swept clean. I believe entire neighborhoods probably need to be emptied,
ethnic
need to be bulldozed.
Classic.
I believe that there are places that are so crime-ridden and so infested that you just need to, like, you're just going to have to crack down. You're going to have to do the job, and you're going to have to get the crime out of Washington. That's my personal experience. Don't believe the bullshit that you hear online from some reporters. Oh, crime's down in D.C. Well, my infant nearly died in a drug fire after mass shootings.
What?
So no, D.C. is not safe.
What?
And I can tell you this as a matter of fact, it is one of the worst, most racist narco states and welfare states imaginable. In that neighborhood that I would walk every single day, racial epithets were screamed at us, rocks were thrown at us
cracker.
because we were white people. This city is a sunken place. It is an unsafe place. I mean, if that's what happens to me, imagine what happens to somebody who's like visiting here from a foreign country.
Fucking look at this cracker walking.
Totally and wholly unsafe, and a scar on the face of our country.
A scar on the face of our country. It is a narco state. It's a welfare state. My kid almost died.
Well, in fact, it's not a state.
Great point. Oh. My kid almost died from a drug fire and a mass shooting.
After a mass shooting, right? Is that what he said?
He said drug fire, mass shooting.
What the fuck is that? If that happened, I mean, I condemn, but like that just sounds like buzzwords. That just sounds like words that are engineered to scare the white men that act tough that watch you. Yeah. The white men that drive around DC without their seatbelts.
You know, I would never like tell somebody that their own personal life or personal stories are like wrong or anything like that. But these people lie maliciously all the time. They lie about what immigrants do. They lie about drug issues in the United States. They lie about every economic issue they can find.
They lie about taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from Russia.
Yes. Do we really think that Benny Johnson would be above lying about an unverifiable anecdote about his kid to push a narrative that DC needs to be occupied? I don't think he's above that, personally. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just asking questions.
Well, I mean, it's like that, and it's also you're walking around Washington, D.C. and getting racial epithets thrown at you. I've walked around Washington, D.C. a couple times before in my life, and nobody's talked to me, actually.
Never, dude. It doesn't, like, it's just, you're making up the problem. I don't believe you, and it's just silly.
Especially when you preempt that by saying entire neighborhoods need to be bulldozed.
Yeah.
You kind of have to come up with something insane to justify bulldozing and kicking out thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because to be clear, what he's calling for is a form of ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
Like he's saying we need to bulldoze entire neighborhoods. We need to kick people out. We know what kind of people he's talking about.
When he's talking about racial epithets being launched at him, I know he's not saying a white person called him cracker.
Yeah.
You know he's talking about like black teens, obviously.
He's doing racial antagonism. Like he's doing race bait is what he's doing. And I think that's bad.
It's bad. It's not good. And these people do it so shamelessly.
So that's Benny Johnson, and that's this week in consent manufacturing.
Yes.
Let us know if your consent's been manufactured for this occupation.
Yes.
In the comments down below.
Let us know if you see other videos from other media figures that are as good as this one, to say the least.
I had to include. I will also say that Benny Johnson in that video, that was right after he was doing the press conference where he got to ask questions of the press secretary of the United States. And I believe he was recording, if not in the White House, then in D.C. So just like doing propaganda with the support of the state.
Oh, DC so scary. I'm going to go visit.
I'm going to do a live stream.
You cannot visit DC while he visits DC to do a press conference.
If you enter DC, you will die while he's in DC.
Entire neighborhoods need to be bulldozed in DC. It's so bad. I get rocked. The kids, they call me cracker and throw rocks at me as I go to DC to ask a shitty question. That isn't a question at all.
I've been to DC many times and never has it like been a war zone.
No, literally.
It's got cool museums. Yeah. Like I'll admit, I stay like usually near, like the Capitol or, just honestly, I stay at wherever the fucking exits to the subway are.
We were fucking scooting around DC that one time on those fucking spin scooters, just going crazy. Nothing happened. I did not get rocks thrown at me. No youth called me a cracker.
It wasn't that bad.
And that was like when it was actually like peak crime. Like, because when we were
I was in DC in 2023.
Yeah, when we were in DC, was it 23 or 22?
It was
20, COVID summer.
21.
Yeah, that was when crime was like peaking in DC too.
They still had the fences up from Jan 6.
No,
I remember it was July. I think.
They?
Yeah, and I think I went to DC in 2023, and it was so normal.
Yeah, it was just a city.
Yeah,
a modern American city. Man. Who would have thought, man?
Not me. This episode of Head in the Office is brought to you by Ground News.
Breaking news can often involve a whirlwind of misinformation, and if you want to get to the heart of a story quickly, our friends over at Ground News can help.
Ground News is a resource you can get on your phone or your computer that collects headlines and stories from around the world and puts them in one place to allow you to compare coverage, check political biases, and see how each publication is funded.
Using Ground News, you can see who's reporting on each story, what their political leanings are, and you can even see news that is going unreported by the right or the left. Ground News offers you an individual breakdown of the content that you've consumed so that you can be aware of your own media diet. Overall, it is a great tool to help understand how narratives are emerging on both sides of the political spectrum in real time.
If you want to help out the show, which we know you want to do, and get a discount on Ground News, go to check.ground.news/headintheoffice for 40% off. Link is also in the description. Their Vantage plan offers all the features we referenced and more.
Special thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this podcast. Now back to the show.
There's a military occupation in DC, and it's only 7 months in. This administration has deployed the military to Los Angeles against civilians. They are doing an occupation of DC right now. There's no reason to think that he will not do this to your city too.
He said he wants to do this to your city. At the press conference where he announced that he was taking over DC, he said that he was willing to expand this, and he called out cities like Chicago.
Yeah, and appeasement just isn't an acceptable strategy here. All of these military incursions have happened under false pretenses. He lied about what was happening in Los Angeles with immigration, and he's lying about crime in DC right now. The only way the government can continue to do literal military takeovers is through manufacturing consent, through lying about things like crime or homelessness or immigration, and we gotta keep calling it out.
The Trump administration is literally telling you, don't believe your lying eyes. They're telling you, no matter what stats, statistics, and figures come out, actually, no, believe my individual anecdotes. And we have to keep screaming about that. It is incredibly important that people don't let up on this issue because Trump wants to bring this nationally.
Yeah.
Trump wants to do this in other American cities, and DC is just the testing ground. There's that one Harvard study that said something like, if 3.5% of the population engages in like nonviolent resistance, social change will be forced.
Yeah.
And it's so important that we do that, especially considering like 3.5% isn't a lot, especially relative to the scope that if Trump continues what he's doing in DC, it could happen nationally. And there's this account on Instagram that you should go follow called 3.5%. And their whole thing is just showing people that you only need 3.5% of the population to actually use their voice that they can use to meaningfully affect political change.
Yeah, sustained resistance matters, and they can only keep doing this if they keep you afraid. Also, fantastic argument currently being made for DC statehood.
Fantastic argument.
But, there's a lot of people calling for statehood now, and I agree. Easy 2 blue senators right there.
Oh,
that's
money,
the only
money.
reason I don't care about people being represented. I care about political power.
I care about winning.
But like Trump did do it to LA. Like some people are saying like, oh, he doesn't have the legal authority to go do it to Chicago. It's like, well, he doesn't have legal authority for anything.
Like,
Law doesn't matter.
He wants to though.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last episode, the president can just declare a state of emergency whenever and for whatever. And that's kind of fucked.
And a lot of police forces kind of welcome it. Like a lot of police forces, despite having intimate access to the data, think that they are wandering around war zones when they go out on their shifts because they only get called to crazy stuff. Like, they don't get called when people are just having a good day, you know what I mean?
Or it's like, that's the stuff that they remember. Nobody remembers sitting on the median, clocking people's speeds, but they remember pulling up to the call that had a gun.
Yeah, exactly, and getting scared.
Yes.
Like, a lot of police forces welcome this. I'm not sure, like, on J.B. Pritzker, he got the sauce, no doubt about it. But what would he really be able to do, law enforcement-wise, if Trump pulled up with the National Guard and said, like, we're locking down Chicago, same way they did to L.A.?
And it's like, not to be like doomer about it, but what genuinely would stop Trump administration from, push come to shove, genuinely saying, I'm invoking the Insurrection Act?
Yeah.
And then they just do these things, at least in the meantime, before a legal challenge can happen. But at that point, do legal challenges matter?
Yeah, that's why you got to keep pushing back on this kind of stuff. And I will say again, DC statehood, a genuinely good cause. I mean, it's like 700,000 permanent residents that just don't get congressional representation.
Yeah.
They got one person who can't vote. That is all they get.
Which is the stupidest thing in the world. Yeah. Why even have a person that you can elect to Congress just to go? It's just a waste.
Yeah, and I think Democrats have previously sort of been afraid of this issue because they're accused of like partisanship, because it's certainly just going to be 2 blue senators, right, and 1 blue House member. There's no doubt about it.
They're accused of partisanship for doing things that Republicans do more of, gerrymandering. Case in point. Like,
but it's like, I mean, previously there was this good video by Jamel Bowie. I think he's a contributing author at the Washington Post. We follow him on TikTok. He's a cool guy. But he made the point that like historically states were added to the Union in like westward expansion for explicitly partisan reasons. Like the Republicans, when they were like in the North and weren't like the more evil party at the time, they would explicitly add states just to increase their power in Congress. And there was constant battles over if a state would be a free state or a slave state, specifically for that reason.
And didn't they start adding states like in like pairs, like 1 red state, 1 blue state, so that they could keep adding states without being accused of that?
Yeah, like it's always been a partisan thing. I don't think it's that bad that it's a partisan thing. And I think you might get more public momentum for something if you say adding DC statehood is good because it franchises a bunch of people, and also we'll get 2 blue senators.
And look at all the things Republicans are doing right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's in a time like this, especially, like we shouldn't be afraid to like lean into those things. Democrats need to start controlling the narrative instead of running away from the narratives that conservatives thrust upon them.
Yeah.
If you constantly if you let the fear of partisan accusations stop you from actually doing something that is A, good, B, going to increase your power, or C, both, then you're just not doing anything. You're just standing there.
Yeah, so DC statehood, and then Puerto Rico and Guam, if they want it.
If they want it.
American statehood, and I'm sure there's some other fucking territories that we still lord over that should probably have statehood too.
Aren't there like 13 territories or something?
I don't know.
Honestly, it's probably less than the actual number. I genuinely can't remember because that's how glossed over they are.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
The thing about Puerto Rico that gets me is like they're all American citizens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can go there without a passport.
Yeah, so I don't know why they aren't, they don't get statehood as well, but they should. They certainly
some of
should.
them want it, at least.
Yeah.
I know that. I know Puerto Rican statehood is more complicated than DC statehood, but like...
And it's about time the flag got another star on it.
Make
it 51, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's wrapping up on DC. Now we got to take a broad scope.
Yes, we do.
We got to talk numbers.
We got to talk money.
We got to talk money. We got to talk about your wallet. We got to talk about your pocketbook. I'm reaching into it.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, pretend I'm Donald Trump. I'm taking your money away.
No, Donald Trump, don't do that.
That's what he's doing right now because, folks, we got inflation news. So at the end of last week, the Department of Labor published its PPI numbers, that being the Producer Price Index, which showed severe inflation is on the way.
Oh, man, what a wonderful time to get in here. And it's like Trump doesn't even have like a name like Biden. You can't even do Bidenflation with Trump. You can do Trumpflation, but like that doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, because you got Biden-inflation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not the same. But inflation's on the way. Yet another sort of macroeconomic indicator that the economy's not doing well.
Why? Why is inflation on the way? Is it do they
Tariffs.
like lay out a thing? Because that's what I was going to say. It is. It's got to be tariffs, right?
Well, I don't think the Department of Labor itself offered analysis like Trump is doing this. like this is solely and objectively Trump's fault. But that's like the economic analysis, because the PPI is the producer price index. It's different from the CPI, which we use to track consumer inflation. So like the price me and you pay when we go to buy food, buy gas, whatever else it may be. The CPI measures the change in price for a market basket of goods over a set of time, whereas the PPI tracks price increases for producers over time. So from June to July, we saw a 1% nearly a 1% increase in producer prices, when what was expected between June and July was 0.2%.
Oh,
so
wow.
an astronomical increase.
So we're 5xing inflation.
Yes.
Nice, man.
And that's over 1 month.
This is the party that knows what they're doing. These are the Republicans. These are the people that are better with the economy.
Yeah, and there was some hope because the CPI numbers came out first, and it was 2.7%, which is what was expected just about. I think that's actually a bit lower than what was expected. So people are like, okay, economy's actually doing fine.
And that's like standard inflation is 2.7%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like that's like about what we expected. And then the PPI numbers come out, and everyone's like, oh shit, tariffs are actually going to cause a problem.
Yeah, no, and it's like, oh, that's going to get right onto me in a couple months now.
Yeah, and I should say, according to Reuters, this is the largest jump in 3 years, which would put us back at March 2022.
Nice. I wonder what was
prices,
going on.
You remember what prices were like in March 22?
That shit sucked, man. That shit sucked.
Shit hasn't come down either. Trump's America,
Fucked
man.
up.
Trump's America. So this probably means no Fed rate cut, which, you know, the interest rates for borrowing and whatnot.
And Trump's going to be mad at that.
Trump's going to be mad at that. He might kill Jerome Powell with his bare hands. That also might mean stagflation, which is a fun term for
the worst thing.
Rising prices, but slow growth, or slow or no economic growth.
Yeah. It's like decrease in demand as well as like a increase in cost or some shit like that. Like there's a thing on the graph.
Yeah, there's a thing happening on the graph.
There's a thing that happens on the graph, and I know that it's the worst thing that can happen on the graph.
A new thing was created in capitalism in like the 70s. And we called it stagflation, and that's exactly what we're dealing with. We, of course, recall that Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because the numbers made him look bad. But the person that was chosen as the new head of BLS is a guy named E.J. Antoni. He's an economist from the Heritage Foundation.
That's so sick, man.
Just on its nose.
So sick.
This dude is just through and through a Trump loyalist. He's been critical of the BLS's data collection methods in the past, which isn't necessarily partisan, but he sort of echoed Trump's language about how the Bureau is like partisan and was out to get Trump and stuff like that. He said that the BLS should pause monthly job reports. Who knows for how long?
Okay, yeah.
Just
so we
indefinite
got
pause?
the bad job report, and now it's just no more data for you.
It's either going to be no more data or, guys, hey, I found 1 billion jobs. we got 3 jobs for every American.
That's right. Why aren't you guys applying? Lazy people don't want to work anymore.
And I sort of buried the lead on this one. Most importantly, he was at January 6th. He was there, and he says that he was just like in D.C. at the time and he wanted to see what was going on, but there's pictures of him in the crowd. Just fully in the crowd.
Dude, fuck yeah. Everybody was just in D.C. at the time. Everybody just happened to be in D.C. for January 6th, man. What a...
Yeah, so just to contextualize all this, right? Trump gets a bad jobs report. He fires the person that leads the department that gave him the bad jobs report. He hires this guy named E.J. Antoni, someone who was at January 6th. Someone who's going to cook the books for him.
And now we're not getting jobs numbers anymore.
And now we're not getting job numbers, or it's going to be 1 billion jobs every month. Like, this dude's fully going to cook the books. Like, it's over, man.
Man, I love jobs. I love statistics. I love the way that this administration is not defiling independent organizations within the federal government that many people in the economy rely on to like understand things.
Yeah, again,
Bro's fucking with the money market.
The money, I don't get the angle here because, like, especially with inflation, like he can lie about crime rates because you can like gin up fear about crime pretty easily, even though we're at like an all-time low in American history for crime, or like at least back to the 1950s or whatever. But when it comes to inflation, like people will start seeing that in like a month.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you can hide the data, but there's independent groups that track all that data.
You remember when egg prices were high?
Exactly. Like you can't hide that from people. So I don't really know what the plan is long term.
And it's also like producers are not going to continue to hide this from us either as well. I've seen I can't remember exactly like what it was, but I seen like MSNBC or CNN like go and talk to like people who run grocery stores, and they're saying we're absorbing the cost of the tariffs right now, but that's not going to last. That's not going to last. We're going to be forced to push those onto you.
Yeah, and the logic there specifically is that we don't want to have to increase prices on consumers if we don't have to, because they don't want to like drive competition away. They don't want to like lose competition. You know what I mean? They don't want to lose
customers.
And like in the short term, but like no business reasonably can hang on in an environment where these tariffs are so goddamn high. So they've just been waiting. Taco Trump to do his thing.
And it's like, especially when we have all this on again, off again inflation, fucking the well-timed prediction from last Monday, tariff pause extended. The tariff pause did get extended 90 days. Once again, another time after they said no more extensions. This is the deadline.
Howard Nutley, just keep lying.
I digress. Like when we have the tariff off, tariff on situation, it's like importers are going to say, okay, we're going to try and like absorb at least some of these costs. And then eventually they will be forced to raise prices, even if it's still tariff on, tariff off situation. And they're just going to bankroll the rest of the money.
Yeah.
And then eventually those prices are not going to come down, and they're just going to keep the rest of the money.
Yeah. And I think the distinction here is that like under Biden, when we had inflation, there were a lot of companies that increased their prices beyond what they needed to do to offset for the increased cost of production, right? They profited off of the presence of inflation. I think the difference here is that this has nothing to do with like war overseas or a fucking boat getting stuck in the Suez Canal
or the pandemic.
Yeah. Or any other like, what's the fucking term for it? The fucking supply chain malfunction. Yeah,
supply chain dysfunction.
It's none of that here. None of those like acute problems. This is just an across the board tax on everything you do for your business.
Yeah.
And I don't think any business, one, can eat that, or two, wants to try to eat that long term. So yeah, of course they're going to increase prices. And I'm not just talking Walmart, like a lot of small businesses too. Even if those small businesses produce mostly in America, make most of their stuff in America, they probably import steel from somewhere.
The people that they buy from are importing from something.
Yeah.
Everything in the economy is a circle jerk, and it's all just traveling around the entire globe.
Yeah, we're all passing the same $100 bill around.
Exactly.
That's all the economy
What that
is.
Called the velocity of money or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. At some point, people are going to start to feel this no matter what. And it's companies are greedy. Make no mistake about it. They do want to increase prices, like any chance that they get if they can make money off it. But I think the tariffs here are going to cause such a tidal wave that they have no choice but to do it.
Like they're so dramatic and so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's no like economic relief that could possibly come from it. Like you said, there's no fucking pandemic. There's no global thing that's going on that can like give them a broader justification to raise prices. And they don't want to do that, and they also don't want to call out Trump because a lot of these places probably donated to him.
And like a lot of businesses, as insane as businesses are, as evil as a lot of these megacorps are, a lot of them do rely, a lot of businesses, big and small, rely on job market data to make decisions. And they're going to be cooking the books.
Well, he's fucking with the money. Like, he's fucking with the way that everybody predicts how the money's going to move.
Like, how, I don't understand, like, even from a capitalist perspective, I am Adam Smith right now. I am the invisible hand. How am I as like a business leader, a fucking head of a conglomerate, a fucking CFO or whatever? How am I supposed to make any decision in this environment?
The invisible hand's supposed to be invisible. It's not supposed to be opaque. Like you're not just supposed to be taking your fist and punching through the data.
It's the fucking fog is everywhere. I can't see anything.
The hand is supposed to be invisible, not the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Like nobody can make decisions in this environment, and it feels bad.
How are you supposed to predict anything long term? I know companies don't do anything long term, and everything is for short term gain and record profits for shareholder value or whatever, blah, 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 buzzword. But like, how are you supposed to predict anything when nobody in the administration seems to really know what they're doing either? It can't work. It can't function.
Yeah. And again, I know these corporations are greedy. None of this is meant to like exonerate any of the greed that they will have. I mean, a lot of them like funded super PACs that helped get Trump elected, right? Like one of the richest person in the country funded Trump's election because he thought he would benefit from it. And now even Elon Musk is like complaining about tariffs and stuff like that, or he has in the past at the very least. So it's like, I'm not shedding a tear for the American capitalist.
No.
I'm just trying to think like on a broad scale, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not shedding a tear for the like supply and demand curve like shifting a little bit. I'm shedding a tear for me having to spend money.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm going to lose money, right? Like that's the corporation's going to make their bag.
They're going to continue to make record profits, or if they're not making more money off of sales, they're going to lay off their workforce so they can lie about making record profits to continue to sharehold their money to keep like circulating through their business. And I'm still going to have to pay way more money, and now more people will be without a job. And that's fucked up.
Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to inflation, folks. Let me know if you're looking forward to inflation in the comments down below.
Let me know if you like an extra higher percentage of your income going to seeming nothing.
Yeah. Hopefully the tariffs don't hit the content creation business.
That'd be tough.
I feel like, I don't know. I wonder if we should ask the Rode company if they get any of their products from overseas and maybe get the last domestic supply.
Well, if inflation gets too bad, we might have to protest by applying CPI to by applying the like patron to the CPI. You know what I'm saying?
This is our cost of living adjustment onto you guys. We're doing colas.
I mean, we are content creators. That's like what a producer is. We're content producers. We might have to start adding to this PPI, guys.
Yeah, so make sure you get in and lock in the current tier of Patreon subscription before the price increase comes with the tariffs.
We can negotiate with the community in the Discord about a COLA that's applied to the new Patreon benefits.
Yeah, guys, we know we have so much insider knowledge about all this like business maneuvers and making decisions and stuff because we have been holding off the increased cost from the tariffs.
Exactly.
We've been shielding you from the impacts of the tariffs.
We're like Walmart. We've been eating the tariff for you right now.
Yeah, but we can't.
It's fucked up. I can't keep holding.
There's a hole in my pocket.
So you got to protest the Trump administration. You got to stand up so they can stop that, so that we don't have to pass the cost of this onto you.
Guys, I know I spent $10 million getting Trump elected, but like, help me out to help you out.
I know I donated bigly to his campaign and his inauguration and whatnot. Even though the inauguration, that doesn't even matter. That's just a vanity thing.
It is just a vanity thing.
It's just a vanity thing. I know I donated bigly to the inauguration, but help me out here.
Think about me, and then think about me, think about you.
Yep. So. I know that I spend more money lobbying than I would probably make if I didn't spend that money lobbying, but I could make more.
Think of all the money that we can make together.
That's the craziest part of lobbying to me is I feel like so much of the money that these huge companies would save from getting their lobbied legislation passed, they spend in lobbying.
There's got to be like a cost-benefit analysis they do, right?
There definitely is. Like, I'm sure it's not that simple. I'm sure they do make more money after the lobbying, but like, it's just like, feels like this just exists to pay the worst people ever.
Oh yeah, well, consultants are making a killing.
They are,
like policy consultants, like the McKinsey people that go and work for Coca-Cola or whatever and do their lobbying efforts. They make a fuck ton of money.
I need that.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go lobby on behalf of the private sector.
I need that kind of bag. Maybe I will write legislation because it's lobbyists that write legislation. It's not going to be tailored for content. I regret to inform you, you're going to get handed a paper from some evil man. Yeah, and then you're going to give it to your congressperson.
And you're gonna, if you get a full-time job, you'll be making like what, $35,000 a year, living with 4 other people in DC. That's just how it's gonna be. Anyways, that's inflation. That's your money bags going away. That's you losing money. The congregation is missing someone. And that someone, dear listener, is you. The congregation awaits you over on our Discord. If you go into the description of this episode right now, there will be a link to join the Head in the Office Discord where you will find more than 1,000 like-minded individuals for you to interact with. And maybe most importantly, we'll be there.
1,000 members strong. It is a burgeoning community of hito heads.
That's right.
Ready to receive you into their arms. Make you a part of the community. Vest you as a hito head.
Over on Discord, we have discussions. You can interact with other hito heads. And maybe, for some fun, we can do some community events. And we know that you want to be a part of that. Only available over on the official Head in the Office Discord. Now we got to move on to Twitter news.
We're going to talk about influencers and the Laura looming around the corner. Because this week, notable good person, Laura Loomer, decided to hop on Twitter on Friday and just further materially immiserate children from Gaza that need medical attention. Crazy group to go to battle against.
Yeah, do you got her quote? What does she say exactly?
It's not any one thing that she said. It's a series of tweets.
It was a policy. She had a policy.
She has been just going on a tear on Twitter since Friday. It's still going on right now through like the backlash of whatnot. Just about like there's this one nonprofit called Heal Gaza that's I think based out of Ohio or something, and their whole thing, like many other like nonprofit organizations, is to organize like getting children from Gaza who have been injured in the fucking genocide, most of them are amputees, into America for medical treatment on temporary like visitor visas. Laura Loomer saw that and said, this cannot happen. We cannot have this. And then just started tweeting a bunch of crazy shit. I screenshotted some of them to read to you just to prove to you that I'm not lying. I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm not making things up. But this, I feel like, doesn't even scratch the surface of the rot within her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she's a fundamentally evil person, dude.
On the issue of Palestinian children, who most of them are amputees, coming to the United States with some of their family to get medical treatment temporarily, she said this: why should Palestinians be treated in American hospitals for free while U.S. veterans are homeless on the street, unable to get health care? This is why everyone hates them. I don't know who them is, because I don't know who them is in that sentence, because they want to come to our country, get free health care, and never assimilate while Americans struggle to pay their bills. Not even Americans get free health care, but you want Palestinians to have free health care? Wow, you are America last. Unreal.
Well, no, everybody should get free health care. That's the left-wing position.
And it's also just like, this isn't free health care.
Yeah.
This isn't health care that's being organized by the U.S. government, that the U.S. government is paying for to have Palestinians come over and get. This is something that is organized by a nonprofit who has received donations by Americans to get people into this country because they need treatment at good medical facilities, not medical facilities that have been bombed to all shit.
I was going to say, because the person or the entity that we're funding right now, the country we're funding right now, has bombed all the hospitals they could go to.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know. Feels like fair is fair, but like, why are you pitting veterans and refugees against each other? Two marginalized populations. We could help both of them.
And this is just another chapter in the long saga of conservatives only ever bring up homeless veterans when it comes to somebody else having a good thing happen to them. Homeless veterans are this entity that exists in the conservatives' mind only to like deny anything good happening to anyone else.
Yeah.
That's it. She never talks about homeless veterans. That's how it is.
I have a feeling she doesn't ever talk about people not getting access to healthcare either.
No, absolutely.
Because it's like the person she voted for and currently supports was the one to sign the bill to cut healthcare for 11 million people over the course of 10 years or something like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little rich hearing you talk about healthcare and access.
It's fucked up. She also said, the United States is not the world's hospital. There are 56 Muslim countries in the world. Many of these countries are very wealthy and their leaders live lavish lifestyles. They are more than welcome to give these Gazans, in all caps, medical care. Allowing Gazans to come to the U.S. is America last policy. We are full. We have no control over what other countries let in, what nonprofits in other countries decide to let in or try and sponsor people to come get medical care. People who are in America want people in Gaza to come to America to get treatment because they live in America and have control over things in America. That's what's going on here. That's it. She framed this entire thing as it being an invasion, as Gazans are coming over here and pro-Hamas nonprofits are getting these terrorists in here to do terror cells.
Yeah.
She had another tweet where she talks about, like, how do we know these families of kids aren't just, we're always talking about sick kids, but what about the families that come with them that come here? And what if they join a terror cell? What if they do this? What if they do 9/11 fucking 2 again?
Come on, man. That's
it's
awesome.
Fucked up, man.
It's like, I gotta steal a quote from Felix Biederman, or a paraphrase a tweet from Felix Biederman here. With Laura Loomer looking the way that she looks, I don't think we should trust her judgment as to how much medicine people might need around the world, or when to know when to stop certain medical treatments.
Yes,
I think because she clearly doesn't have a very good gauge of that.
Oh, absolutely not. And it's like that's just Twitter, right? Like, that's just anybody can get on Twitter and say that. But because it's Laura Loomer, it's bad. Because there are two things about Laura Loomer. One, she is a fundamentally evil person, and two, she has an undue amount of influence over the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Because after she went on that initial tirade on Friday on Twitter, the State Department or the Trump administration came out and said they are now looking over just like the visitor visa program and not allowing anybody else in from Gaza, quote unquote, temporarily, and reviewing the visas of anybody who is here right now. The temporary visitor visas of children who are mostly amputees getting medical treatment, the State Department said, we got to review these because Laura Loomer called them a terrorist.
Come on, dog.
That's genuinely like Twitter affecting foreign policy, or I guess domestic policy too.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
Such a joke of an administration.
That group,
man.
Heal Palestine, I think they said they brought out like 63 people. They brought like 63 Gazans over.
Yeah, a drop in the bucket. Like just trying to make a couple of people's lives a little bit better as they've gone through some of the most horrific things you could possibly imagine. Just for some white woman on Twitter to get super angry and change state policy.
Yes, a child who is currently undergoing treatment for whatever malnourishment, comorbidity, fucking amputation they're going through right now has to now go through a visa review process and possibly kicked out of the country during the medical treatment because Laura Loomer said so.
Because Laura Loomer got mad.
Because Laura Loomer said they were terrorists. And I'm sure when this gets published for the Wednesday Weenies on Wednesday, she'll still be on about this. And you can go check out her Twitter and see some more insane things that she's tweeting. But it all boils down to blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use veterans cynically now. And every single Gazan is a terrorist.
I don't even understand the line of thinking when it comes to the veterans. Because clearly you're trying to point out some kind of contradiction here. You're saying, oh, you want Gaza, you want literal children to get health care before you want our veterans to get health care. But it's like, you don't care if the veterans don't get health care.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say they should both get health care. And you're going to say neither of them should get health care. Like, what's the argument?
Nonprofits focus on things. This nonprofit happens to be focused on bringing people in from Gaza to give them medical treatment from doctors who are volunteering to treat them medically, from people who have voluntarily donated money. If Laura Loomer cares so much about homeless veterans that she's willing to use them to deny care to children who are victims of a genocide, she should go start a nonprofit to get homeless veterans off the streets. She should go donate money to getting homeless veterans off the streets. And she should stop supporting the administration that has defunded the VA.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
didn't Doge defund the VA? Didn't they do cuts?
Probably. I mean, probably to some degree. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I don't understand the argument. Like, oh, you don't want our homeless veterans to get health care? Yes, I do. Like, I want everybody to have access to health care for free at the cost of the U.S. government.
Yes.
But you don't fuck with that.
No, not at all.
So it's like, why do you, what does your opinion even matter here if we're talking about access to health care?
Yes.
She just doesn't like that they're brown and from Palestine.
Just beefing with children is crazy.
Beefing with children.
Beefing with injured children is insane. That's the Loomer, though.
Yeah, that is the Loomer.
That's the Loomer for you. And then she calls herself an independent journalist.
I don't understand how these conservative media figures like Laura Loomer can maintain their quote unquote independence or anti-establishment tilt when she literally runs foreign policy, apparently.
Yes.
Like her and her people, her cohorts, her peers, they run the government right now, and she can still pretend like Biden's in charge and having Palestinian refugees come in and get health care. Like, it's not a state-funded thing. Like you said, it's just a nonprofit.
Like, she did a tweet, and then Marco Rubio went on CNN, is like, we got to get these terrorists out.
This isn't an argument against, the state funding healthcare for Palestinians. It's an argument against anybody giving Palestinians
It's an argument against
healthcare.
them being brought in. Because she also went on to get... She was also on Twitter talking about, what State Department officials were actually going through and approving these visas for Gazans. This is not what people voted for, and they voted in the Trump administration. This needs to be answered for. We should not be letting any of them in. And then I just fucking pull up Twitter, just coincidentally, go to her page, and I see a tweet that says, we cannot let Gazans in. Look at what, Muslims did to Europe. And it's just a population chart of, school-age kids in Europe.
What the fuck, dog?
I was expecting the graph to be, school-age kids doing crime in Europe or some shit, because at least you'd be trying. But it's just population. It's just percent population. She's like, look what they did to Europe. Brother, you just don't like looking at brown people.
God, I don't understand the world these people live in. Yeah, they just hate brown people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you just you niche down and you get your bag doing one thing and you really dedicate yourself to it. You really lean in.
You end up in and around the White House. That could never happen for us. There's just no pipeline there at all.
No, absolutely not. They're going to kick the podcasters out. That's the first thing Gavin Newsom's administration is going to do. They're not letting my ass in there.
Yeah, Karine Jean-Pierre had one influencer event?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
They're not letting my ass into the fucking press briefing, let alone letting me exercise influence over foreign policy.
Shit, we couldn't even get Gretchen Whitmer to invite us anywhere.
Oh, literally.
We don't get invited anywhere as the fucking best show ever made. But fucking Laura Loomer.
That's the #1 geopolitical podcast.
Laura Loomer gets invited to the White House. Benny Johnson gets invited to the White House. It's messed up, man.
It is.
And I hope Newsom, who's going to inevitably be the primary winner in the Democratic primary in 2028, unless Pete Buttigieg wins out because Israel's too important.
When Pete Buttigieg wins out with 0% of the black vote.
Whichever Zionist white boy wins, they better invite me to the press pool so I can, on principle, say no.
Exactly. So I could post the letter on Twitter and be like, LMAO, look what they're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
God
I could post a reply, get some clout for that. Maybe earn some money off that.
Because that's what is really important.
Implement my COLA, cost of living adjustment. Anyway, that's Twitter and that's Gaza.
That's Twitter and that's Gaza.
Yeah.
But we got one more geopolitical event to touch on a little bit that we've admittedly been neglecting. Because look, guys, we got to niche down.
Yeah, we can't always be talking about war, folks.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, one is more. I don't know. I mean, one's more blatant,
more ripe for analysis, and the other one is there's like very clearly somebody that's doing a bad thing, although not as bad as the other thing, but like it's Russia Ukraine.
There's
like,
just less to talk about.
I personally don't know how to talk about the issue and deliver analysis on it. I don't know enough. I don't.
Yeah, no, it's just it's less. There's less analysis to do because it's like Russia just invaded.
Exactly.
Whereas with Israel and Palestine, there's a lot of analysis and talk you can have around politics and whatnot.
It's a huge thing in like politics right now too. It's like we don't even have conservatives that are bitching about like Ukraine funding anymore. It's just not something that's super ripe for conversation. Although it is an important issue.
Yeah, of course. But this time in this sort of Russia-Ukraine saga, Trump got bitched on by Putin.
Yeah,
and I'm not happy to say that because I don't fuck with Vladimir Putin. You know what I mean? I think he's a bad guy.
It's not even like a critical support situation because like it's all just bad.
He laughed it off when the reporter was like, "Are you going to stop killing civilians?" He went,
said, "Oh."
he hit a fucking mean white boy shrug. Like, what are we doing here?
He emoted on him.
Yeah, he did. He hit an emote. But Trump had been setting up this meeting or sort of talking about it to the media in such a way where it's like, we're going to get a ceasefire out of this. I'm inviting him to Alaska. It's this big deal. We're showing respect and we're going to get this done. The war is going to end. And then after hours of meeting, strategist Marco Rubio meeting with his fucking counterpart in Russia, or his counterpart from Russia, no ceasefire.
Yeah. Trump came out there. He's like, yeah, it was okay. And then Marco Rubio just says it's not happening.
Yeah, they came out, they did the press conference, and no ceasefire is happening. And so I think today, European leaders and Trump and Zelensky all met together to have like a sort of the other half of that meeting where they're talking to the Ukrainian officials. I don't know what's come out of that.
Yeah, Zelensky put on a suit this time though, which
fucked
is just
up.
Like,
don't ever
God
cave,
damn,
dude.
Bro,
another liberal concession to the right wing. You know what I mean?
We can't do this. We can't be doing this.
I wonder if he said thank you at all to JD Vance this time, but. So who knows what's happening there?
JD Vance is probably on vacation.
Dude's always, JD Vance is always on vacation. I have never seen every single week of this administration, JD Vance is fucking in Disneyland.
Yes.
He's in Europe. He's doing something else. This dude doesn't work.
I have not fucking seen him at the White House since the Zelensky interview.
And like, I'll be fair here, right? Like the vice president doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's a fake job.
But he really doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hear about Kamala Harris going on a bunch of vacations, but every single week this dude is not in the country.
And it's like for a while he was doing a world tour, going on vacations all over the place, and then fucking geopolitical conflicts happened in his way. Crisis happened in JD Vance's wake. He fucking killed the Pope, and then the India-Pakistan thing popped off. Like
this dude, JD Vance, never fucking works, and he talks to us like we don't know something.
Exactly. I'm
tired of this.
He talks down on people like, oh, just get a job, lazy liberal. Do your job.
Anyways, I don't know what the result of the Ukrainian meeting was, and it just seems like it's going to keep happening.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It seems like the only way out is, and at least from Trump's perspective, is just to like have Ukraine completely concede the territory that they've lost, and that's that.
Which makes the most sense since he got bitched on by Putin. Doesn't make the most sense, like, actually morally.
Yeah. But it seems like that's what Trump's going to do.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to stay, because he seems like he genuinely fucks with Putin.
Like, it's crazy how much Trump himself has been flip-flopping on the issue, too. Because, like, he, like, what was it, 2 months ago? He's like, Putin, stop.
Yeah.
Putin, stop. Please don't do this. You're hurting people. And then he goes, yeah, I think Zelensky should actually just give up Crimea formally.
Putin, stop. I'm getting angry about this.
You can't keep doing this.
And then he pulled up and they act like homeboys.
Exactly.
So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? I figured we would mention it because number one geopolitical podcast and whatnot.
We have to at least touch on it.
That's the show for today, folks.
Yeah, I hope you liked it. Worked really hard. Made shit happen just for you. That's who we are. Yup, exactly. And it may have been a light news weekend, but shit.
Shit, still delivered
for us.
Probably like a 80, 90 minute pod. That's what we do.
And that's what people expect from us.
Yeah.
Especially these people on the Patreon that we got to give wonderful, beautiful thanks and shouts out to, starting with Caden Kraut, Chris the Postman, Christy Beck, Mike Japlinski, Clayton LaFed, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Rich Toro, Tari Frigalaki, Max Vasquez, Jacob Rogers, Colin Mooberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbers, Jake Bagel Burrito, Cincy Alex, Joe Stenstrom, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Cutts, Jennifer DeVoe, Craw Fishin, Benny Bennington III, Alexia Benadi, Big Booty Beattown, Sam Melody, Tiger Cruises Boy Toy, Dictators 8, Jace, Luca O'Shea, Cucker Tarleson, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Science, Aaron Hennis, Gundam, Gundams, Darth Father, Taylor for Content, Corey Chambers, Retro Manda, Veronica, aka V, Raxon, Ash Smith, The Grotler, Murder in a Trenchcoat, Caitlin Kelly, AK Gon, Iguana Don, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Taylor Rensock, Cami, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Madeline C, Anna Valenic, KCC, Say Yes to West, August, Particular Pickman, Sir Capalot, Jeff Sines, Brendan is Egg, Froggy Gumjock, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, MJ Ashart, Michaela Muncie, The Wall 3000, Chris T. I just got in a groove.
Damn. Kishan Lala, Amanda R, Tyler J, Particulate, Memfrez, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwest Marxist, Joe the Mailman, Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper Not Jupiter, Stacked Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Forlorn, Holt Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops, Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Azim Fitta Hussein, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverk the Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addy Book, Merlin, Cryo Bongi, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Kim Kitsuragi, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie the Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majo What, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney and 6-inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Ringsmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Joshua Franklin, Southern Lefty, Lark61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Rourke Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Connor Nix, Sound Logic, Sleven, I have never made a woman orgasm,
Shut
John
up.
from Houston, and my mother. How dare you put that disgusting, filthy name so close to my mom's shout out?
It's fucked up, man.
That's
I
crazy.
have never made a woman orgasm as an avid commenter as well on the Patreon. It made me giggle.
Hey man, shout out to you. Sometimes you gotta admit your flaws. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the only way we can solve this issue is just getting more patrons on that list.
That's right.
If you want to become a patron, you know what to do. Or if you can't, $2 or so.
If you want me to have never made a woman orgasm, just double the list.
So true. So true.
I hope you have a great first half of your week, everybody.
See you later.